Hi guys, welcome to today's video. In today's video I'm showing you a little bit about Pip. This is a good beginner's guide to Pip for anyone that's getting started with it and getting started with Python. There's definitely some things in here that you should know and you should try to learn most of them, from the top of your head, so you're not looking these things up all the time. And these are the ones that I really would recommend everyone learns to begin with. So even though I'm on Windows, I'm using WSL2 here, so I can access, bash commands and things like that. So I'm going to say man pip. So man means manual, and you can do this for pretty much anything that you would want to look up in a Linux-based system. And you can see here that you've got name pip, a tool for installing and managing Python packages. It has, pip, command and options, pip free command and options. That's basically the way every command starts. So this is really useful, and obviously you can come out of here and you can also do pip help, which gives you some extra data as well. You can see a list of all of the different commands here: install, download, uninstall, freeze, list, show, check, config, and a bunch of those. We're not going to do all of those today. So let's just clear this out, and the first thing that we're going to want to do is make sure that pip is up to date. So how are we going to do that? First of all, we want to do pip -- version. You can see that, and then we'll do pip free -- version. These should be the same, but in some cases they might not actually be the same. And in those cases, you'll have to use either pip or pip free rather than being able to freely use them interchangeably, as I can here, because I'm using the exact same version in this environment and everything. So that's something to bear in mind if you ever get problems there. Now, the next thing that you want to do is actually update pip. So the way that you do that is -m pip install -- pip. Hit enter, and you can see it saying the requirement is already satisfied. Now that's going to be one of the hardest commands for you to memorize, so I suggest writing that down. Most people, starting to learn something new will write these things down. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So once you've done this, the next thing you're going to want to do is see all of the packages you actually have installed. So if you type in pip list, you will see that you have a large list of different things here. Now, there is a way to filter this, and this isn't specifically a pip command, it's a bash command. So we'll say pip list, and then we're going to use the pipe, and that pipe allows you to then chain something into this, and we're going to use grep. Now, grep is used for filtering, so let's just use virtual. Hit enter, and you can see it's bringing up virtual env, and what we're going to do now is look a bit more closely at virtual env. So once we've listed this out, we now want to find out a little bit more about virtual env. So we're going to say pip show virtual env, and now you can see you've got the name, the version, summary, the homepage and the author, the license, the location, which is pretty important, and then obviously as well requires what this requires to work and what it's required by. Both really important things. But sometimes, quite often, if you're working in a virtual environment, you're only going to have a certain amount of packages installed. You're not going to have all of these system-wide packages, and there are going to be some packages in your virtual environment that aren't system-wide. So when this is the case, sometimes you need to move all of these to another virtual environment to reinstall them, and doing this manually one by one would be really difficult. So what you would normally do is do something like this: pip freeze, and then this tells you all of the different packages that you have and their versions. So what a lot of people do is pip freeze, and then they output this to a file, so like pip.txt. And then what we could do is we could cat that and show the exact same thing again. But if we remove pip.txt, it might be better for us to actually do a little bit more with this. So what we could do is pip freeze, and then we're going to grep virtual, just anything that matches virtual, and then we're going to output that into pip.txt, and we're going to say cat pip.txt, and then you can see we've filtered that down to just anything that matches that. So if you are in a virtual environment and you have loads of packages, which can happen even if it isn't super common, that's one way that you can create a file to then have this output there, and you can actually install from that file as well, but that's a little bit more advanced and I'm not going to go into that today. So actually installing this version, what would we do? We'd say pip install virtual env, and then for the exact version 20.4.2. And you can see it saying already satisfied. So if we uninstalled it, which is how you uninstall, hit enter and confirm, you can see that's gone now. So what we do then is we could install like this and not specify the version. And if that's the most recent version, then it's going to reinstall 20.4.2. So you don't always need to do that, but sometimes you're going to be working with older versions of things, and that's why knowing the version number is particularly important. So these are the main commands that you need to know. You need to know how to check the version, you need to check the manual pages, the help pages, how to upgrade pip to the latest version, to show more details about a particular package, to list out all of the packages, to list out all of the packages with their version number, to list out some packages with their version number and output that to a file, and then obviously installing and uninstalling and all of these things as well. So that's quite a lot to take in for your the first time coming across pip, but you'll find that that's what you're using 80% of the time. So this is a beginner's guide, but also it's good to use as reference material later on. So thank you for watching the video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Any comments, put them in the comment section, obviously, and I'll see you in the next video.